Alrighty. Yes, God. Alrighty. Yes, God family. I am so excited to be coming and doing this live today. I am feeling absolutely amazing today. I've had a beautiful day. I've had an amazing beginning to 2022, and I am so excited to chat about it with everyone here. If you're new, welcome. My name is Megan and I am your spiritual bestie girl. I am here to give you the love, the empowerment, the encouragement, the proof that you can manifest the life that you desire. And I'm also here to help you heal your womb and your mind, body, and spirit. Yes, God. So today a lady reached out to me that is a client, and she wanted to share the good news of Yes God Wellness. And I was like, yes, God. So I'm going to bring her in. She wanted to just talk about her experience with our community, our products. And so I'm going to bring her in. Give me one moment. Sorry, y'all. Almost. Okay, let me just say this real quick. Instagram be tripping, because when you can't even, like, for me, I don't know about anyone else, but I cannot save my lives anymore to download them and repurpose. Y'all playing games. That's fine, because guess what? I'm going to screen record it. So I had to make sure I was screen recording before we got into it. So again, I'm going to start from the top real quick. My name is Megan. I'm your spiritual best friend. I'm here to help you manifest the life you want. I'm here to help you heal everything, not just the womb, but everything. And I was reached out to by a client, and she wants to talk about her experience. And I was like, yes, God. So here we go. I'm going to bring her in. Tamika. Accept.
Hello.
Yay. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, happy New Year.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm in my office too, just sitting.
Yes, God. Look
How are
at you.
you?
What you doing, girl? What you working on?
I'm in the mortgage banking business, and
Okay.
I actually am doing something else with the COVID relief, um, helping our community for all of those COVID, helping with paying rents back to 15 months from April 2020 to current. So I'm very
Really now? We want to hear about that, girl. Okay, we get to that later. Y'all DM her if y'all want to learn more about that.
Yeah, well, I signed the non-disclosure agreement.
Okay, so you can't talk about it. That's fine.
But I am a social worker. I have a social worker background. Everybody who knows me in the community does know that I give out all the resources because I have worked multiple jobs. Let's say in the social service background, that I always want to give back to my community.
Yes, God.
As you
Yes, God.
teenage parent as well. So I learned a lot just growing up, trying to go to school, stay educated.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to, I just give back whenever.
Yes.
So I always make
Praise
sure
God.
I give back to everybody. But I'm so
Yes,
happy
God.
today.
Me too. Girl, I was like, when I tell you, I promise, I literally, when I was writing in my journal this morning, which is something that I've started doing every day, I recommitted to myself for 2022. I was like, even if you just write a couple, just talk to God, just make God your bestie again, and just get that that connection. And this morning I was like, I know that you're going to do amazing things today. I know that you're going to surprise me. I know that I'm going to get unexpected blessings, unexpected abundance. And here you go in my sliding in my DM. I was like, yes, God, do it through her, God. Thank you.
Yes, I'm turning 40, so I wanted to reach out to you for the tea party. Me and you did a project theme, and then I sent a couple of my friends when you first started in Durham. And since I'm turning 40, I'm pro STEAM because I know what it does for you. And I was like, what can I do that's different? That I can bring my intimate friends in and we can manifest, because this year has been a great year for me and my friends. We all purchased homes this year.
Yes, God, congratulations.
And it's a lot to take on as a homeowner. As you know, you just got your
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's a lot, and it's just a lot to take. You surprise yourself on the things that you can accomplish. So I really want to move forward. Like I said, I was reading, I watch your page all the time. I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to her, see can I be a rep? Because I'm always like selling stuff to everybody. I purchase and I send it to my family and everything.
Praise God.
I'm like, try this, try this, try this. So I was like, I was on the
Thank
side.
you.
I was like, I'm gonna reach out to her. I think I could take that on this year. I'm seeing because I kind of moved a little. I moved a little ways from where you are now. So we're about 40 minutes apart now. So,
Okay.
well, I'm gonna take this area.
Yes, girl. So I'm so excited to hear that because it's like because it's now it's going to create expansion for both of us, right? Because now it's like, okay, well, how do we work that? How do we make that work? How does now, how do I come up with something that allows, her to like officially, kind of be an ambassador or whatever? I don't even know, girl. I don't know yet, but you have got my wheels turning. I'm just thinking like, yes, God. Girl, the first thing that comes to mind is a certification. I'm like, she need to get certified. But even beyond that, like, you know what I'm saying? For someone who doesn't necessarily want to do it, as like a full-time thing, or even not to say you have to do it as a full-time thing if you're certified, but typically people are trying to do that as a business route. But just, having a way for people to be able to be far reaching, and have some type of system set up where it's like we're all, we're all connected, we're all in a family and we're all like, spreading the good news, girl. I am super excited for you. So I want to know like what kind of things maybe you had in mind. And then I also wanted to pivot and ask you after that, like what your experience with steaming has been, like how has it helped you? What are the benefits that you've experienced? And you can do however you want to answer in whatever order you can answer, girl.
Okay, so I had my daughter in 2010, and I was reading your blogs as well about your birth experience and how traumatic it can be. And like I said, I was a teenage parent. I had my son that's 24 when I was 15. I didn't know anything about my body. I didn't know anything about what was to come afterwards. And I didn't know anything about the process. And I was so young that, our generation, you have nobody to talk to. So I ended up getting an epidural with him. And, I had so many issues after the epidural. And then I jumped onto a birth control because society says birth control won't have any more kids. Well, 10 years I was on depot, they took me off. And then I had to go through the period issues and all that stuff. And then I was pregnant with my daughter when my son was 12. So they're 12 years apart.
Okay.
I had my
so
daughter.
We got the age gap too, because I was a young I had my first at 17, next one at 19, and then I didn't have any more until I was in my 30s. So
yes,
we have that same gap.
Yes, but society says, birth control this and all of that. And I really didn't know until I started researching what birth control does as far as like blood clots and all the different things that you have. I don't want to do it no more after I have my daughter. But I got a tubal ligation in 2010 because for me,
I've experienced that too.
The experience for me is that I can't carry past 20 weeks. Body says time to push the baby out. Service, I'm on bed rest. I'm in the hospital. It's just it's not a good feeling to have a child and you don't know if your baby's gonna make it. So the doctors try to get me to 32 weeks safely so that if my babies come, I'll be able to, take care of my kids. So that was like so scary, and to go through it twice, I was like, I don't want to go through it a third or fourth time, so I'm out. Like time I took, me and the doctor went back and forth at Harrison and Smith about it, and I was real adamant about it. Like I signed my papers 6 months in advance. I want my tubal ligation, even though I ready. Terrible decision. I wouldn't recommend anybody to do that. If I would have known about your services in 2010, I would have never got a tubal ligation. Just because what your product has done for me. So 2010, I had my daughter. I noticed my periods were very irregular. Heavy, terrible cramps. I could hardly get out of bed. I was just always in pain. I only had like one of comfort with my cycle. A doctor, and they kept putting me on birth control. Then they kept saying that it was because my tubes were tied that I was having all this pressure, and it was a terrible experience. So 2017, I started having issues where I was just bleeding nonstop, and I couldn't figure out why. And I went to the doctor to find out that I had polyps in my uterus and outside of my cervix. So if you touched me, I would bleed. So my periods just, and it was just a terrible, terrible thing to just have going on daily. So I was at work, and sister was like, "It's this place called Honey Pot. You should try it." And I was like, "Let me look it up." So I looked it up, and I was like, let's book. And she was like, okay. But she kept playing. I said, I'm going. I'm going. So especially when
don't wait for nobody else, y'all. Don't wait for nobody else to do what you know you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I was like,
anything.
I'm going. So I inboxed you. I think I asked you a million questions. I was like, I know she's so tired of me, but I made that appointment, and I came, and you made me the tea, and we talked, and your spirit was so warm and welcoming. And I was nervous because I didn't know. I was like, I don't know what this is going to do, because the doctors had already told me I needed surgery to get my polyps removed, because they were trying to twist them and turn them. They would not move. It was just terrible. They started putting all kind of stuff up there. I had a surgery scheduled before I came to you. I kid you not. I steamed with you. I brought some products for home. You showed me what to do. And I just started steaming until my appointment. I went to the hospital to do South for my surgery. And my partner was there with me. And they had a room full of student doctors. And I was like, oh. And they had cameras and everything. They put a camera in my to see exactly where they had to remove the polyps from. They inserted the camera, and the lady was puzzled because I had been going every week. Every week I had been going. They have it documented, what they looked like, where they were. Lady was like, "It's nothing here," and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "It's nothing here." And she called in a team of doctors. Then they dismissed all the students. They came running in there. I was like, "What's going on?" And they was like, "It's nothing here." And I was like, "Nothing there." I was like, "Wait, what?" So I was like, "Well,
right, but God."
It's like, "What you been doing?" And I was like, "Well, I've been steaming." They don't know nothing about steaming.
They don't know nothing about that, girl. They gonna tell you that's dangerous.
Yeah. They was like, what? I was like, "I've been steaming with these all natural herbs and blah, blah, blah." And they kind of looked at me like I was crazy.
But
that's good. I was so happy. And they was like, well, it's nothing that we can do for you. We're gonna put the bed down, and everybody can go out. And the lady was like, well, we really was wanting to show these kids, students, what this was gonna look like. And I was like,
really? That's what their response is. Western medical trauma is a real thing.
Yes. So I said to myself, I was like, praise God. I was like, I didn't have to even endure what I thought I was about to endure. And it just, the polyps just released on their own. And I know people have polyps and fibroids. So then I started just ordering more. I was like, I'm steaming once a month because, hey, it works. Like, I've not returned. I steam whenever I can. I explain it to my friends. I say, like, it takes your cramps away, takes the pressure out of your back and your sides. Like, it's just an experience. So I tell everybody, like, I'll shout from the rooftops, like, it works. I know it works. Like, a couple of my friends had fibroids. I've sent them the product myself, and they as well, but it's just a really good thing to do. So for me, being that I have like a real testimony, like I'm funny about stuff. Like if it don't work for me, I don't want to pursue it, but it really worked for me. And then I started just following your journeys and watching your videos, and I'm like, oh, I'm having like I was having sweats and stuff, and I was, what's going on? So I hit you in the inbox and you said, well, try this blend. Tried it. It worked. I had to get my thyroid removed this summer. And that was one of my issues. I had growths on my thyroid. So, I called you, what do I do? You was like, I got some tea. I I was like, that's gonna work, that's gonna work. But the nodules were so big on my thyroids, they had to take them
Yeah.
to cancer. So I was like, okay, I'll get the surgery, blah, blah, blah. But you know, the tea, it puts you in a good mindset. The steaming, it just opens you up. And I was like, I'm going to go for it because I'm going to reach out to her this year and say, hey, I think I want to be an ambassador or a seller or a retailer in my area, just because I know that it works. And just because as young girls, like we suffer with cramps and they just give us ibuprofen, 800. And
Yeah.
I'm not a medicine taker. Like I hate taking medicine.
Me too.
And if I have to, but I have a daughter as well. And for her not to have to experience the cramps and all the things that I had to experience, I'm
Yes.
so happy to learn so much about it. So I was like, I'm reaching out to Megan because my daughter got her cycle as well. She's 11. She's not comfortable talking about it yet. Working with her daily, just let her know this is what your body's gonna do. You're gonna have these issues. They said 11-year-olds are too young to cramp. They won't cramp until a couple of years later. But she's been experiencing light cramps, so like it's time for me to like introduce her to steaming.
Yes. Yeah,
And
she can definitely start. As soon as we start menstruating, we should be steaming right then. Like, you know what I'm saying? On the onset. So yes, God. Wow.
yeah, so I was really reaching out to you. I'm turning 40 in a couple weeks. I wanted to do a sip and tea party with my intimate besties, and manifest and do goal boards and just do something different to put some positivity in the air and start the year
Yes.
right and just move forward with what knowledge you have given to us. And I feel like you share so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, she is amazing. Like I could be having a bad day. I'll listen to what you're saying. I'm like, yes, let me manifest. And I'll manifest things that I'm thinking that I want to do and where I want to go. And I'm like, this is the attitude that I need to have going forward.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm not gonna cry because
Don't cry. You're going to make me cry. You cry. Oh, God. Don't
you
cry.
know I cry, girl. I will
Don't,
cry. I do not care about crying, but
don't cry.
I just, it's just God is just so good. I can't even. I don't. You're giving me all these accolades and these things, but it's just like it's God. You know what I mean? It's God coming through me, and that's what I want. That's what I ask God for. And so this whole thing, this whole testimony, sharing your experience, sharing that you were supposed to go in for surgery and it didn't have to happen. Like that's what I actively try to manifest. So you coming in and being willing to share this with me and share this with everybody is like, it's so humbling because it's like, wow, and it really builds confidence because it's like, we can really have whatever it is we ask for. Because this is what I asked for and I'm receiving it. And I'm just so grateful that you had that experience and you were able to, circumvent that process of quote unquote being a guinea pig, you know what I'm saying? And being a lesson for somebody else. Like, and not to, and just, it's important. And I'm not completely against Western medicine. You know what I mean? Like I never want to come off that way. I think that there are some great technologies there. And for certain things, we do need Western medicine. We don't need it as much as we think we do. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many instances and opportunities where we can use the healing power of herbs. Like God literally gave us herbs to be able to heal ourselves. And, it's really just, I just want to spread that, I just want to spread that news because it worked for me. That was my experience, herbs healed me life brought me to the opportunity to help spread that message and encourage people to know herbs can heal you too. So for you to, this is like a full circle moment of just, yes, they do. Yes, it did. I am so grateful to you for sharing your story. Thank you for clarifying that you want to have an actual birthday party because I'm thinking you were talking about, because remember every month I used to do the sip, steam, and manifest, sip, steam, and release parties.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking you were doing that. I was like, should I open that back up to the community? But I would love to have a more private, intimate. I definitely still offer those. They will be here in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And we can come and steam and, you know, have fruit salad and have tea and all the stuff we used to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so amazing that this is happening right now today on January 5th, because literally 2 nights ago, I was going through my feed. I went through my Instagram feed, like scrolling down. And a lot of stuff I archived on my page, a lot of content I had from my early days, I archived. And it was because now I realize it was because I was getting too much in my head about, you know, the brand and the business and the this and, oh, that doesn't go with the aesthetic. And it's like, God has like released me from that. Like, it's the thing that makes me who I am is just my, and my authentic self is just to go off the cuff and what feels good in the moment. You know what I mean? And that's not going to look the same every time. And
Mm-hmm.
it's going to evolve. It's going to change. It's going to move. And so I went back and I was looking at a lot of the testimonials that I had in the beginning, and I was looking at the videos of the tea parties and in the old place in Durham. And I was like, I miss that. Like, I miss that energy. You know what I mean? And I don't have to miss it because it's still inside of me. All I have to do is just allow myself to surrender and release to, you know, these made up limiting beliefs in my mind about this is how I have to be. And so, girl, I am so happy for you. I am so thankful again that you're willing to share that. I can definitely send you over some information about the tea party. When is your birthday, by the way?
The 20, it's the 26th.
The 26th, Aquarius. That's my husband's birthday.
Yes.
Hey.
I'm Aquarius.
Hey.
Aquarius.
Yes, God.
I have something in my mind. I'm sticking to that, and I'm doing that, and that's just
That's
what
how they are.
But
That's how y'all are, and I love that.
This is really this has the herbs really work for me. Now, you know, since I think you started this way before social media got so big, but you know, like I've been watching like all the shows and all the cute people trying to do it with I'm like, oh no, that's not how that goes. Like, and then I look at what they're using. I'm like, oh no, you're not supposed to use that. And I tell my friends like that's for the gram. You know what I'm saying? That's
exactly.
So,
and girl, I got stuck in trying to call myself doing it for the gram, and I was like, this don't feel good. I don't like this energy of trying to be curated. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to have a plan and to be organized, but to try and curate myself, it wasn't sitting right with me. And you know, I took a break because I did manifest a husband. I manifested, you know, the new life, the baby, the house, all these things. And I took a step back, but I found myself kind of, you know, succumbing to what I think we all do sometimes is when we look on social media, we're like, well, I'm not doing that. Well, I don't look like that. You know what I mean? And just kind of allowing it to be insecure. And that's one of the reasons why the first thing I say in my manifesting mastermind, I'm like, when you first wake up in the morning for 15 minutes, do not get on that phone. Before you go to bed, do not be on that phone, because you don't realize how deeply subconscious these things become embedded when you're looking at all this stuff. It causes like this subconscious comparison. You know what I mean? And it's great. I mean, I think Instagram is a great tool. I think social media, I think the internet is a great tool to be able to get, you know, to learn and connect with people and to get resources and to learn about, you know, different things. But we have to be mindful of that line of, okay, now I'm just doing it because it's a habit and I'm bored and it's not helping me right now. You know, we have to be aware enough of ourselves to recognize that's happening.
yes.
But girl, I'm so happy. I'm so grateful for you. I know that you have to get ready to go pick up the little ones in a little bit.
Yes. Preteen or they're 7th and 8th grade, 6th and 7th, and then I have a 4-year-old boy. So it's like, what do you do? But
you be compassionate, and you remember when you were that age, and you just offer them love. And in retrospect, because, you know, we got older children, like I have 20 something year olds, and I just, you know, I think it's important to have boundaries, and then, you know, allow the process of natural consequences. You know, if I could go back and change some things about my parenting as a young single mother, I would not try to give my children everything. I would allow them to earn things, and I would allow them to experience consequences, you know, and not try to always scoop in and rescue them, because that's the thing that builds the character, that builds the integrity, that builds, you know, a good human being. So,
Yes. And when I saw you talking about that, that hit so home. My 24-year-old just graduated from UNC in May.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And yes, God, it was a free scholarship. He had the Bill Linda Gates. So I was a teenage parent. When he came home, he's always been very good in school. When he came home and he was saying he wanted to go to UNC, and I was so aggravated because I'm like, you can go to any HBCU for free, and you talking about this expensive school, blah, blah. This before he got a scholarship. And I those prices, 40, 50,000 a semester. I said, how you think I'm gonna do that? Just tell me, like, how? I'm like, I know I overcompensate, but I can't overcompensate for that. But
exactly.
He's a procrastinator, but he's very smart. He doesn't have to study, and he's always been that way. He applied for that scholarship at 11:59. He was one of the last people to apply. He got that scholarship, and he graduated in May, and I couldn't have been more proud of him. And I kind of finally, at that moment when he graduated, I finally forgave myself for having a child at 15. I was 15, turning 16. I didn't know what I was doing. And the way it bothered me for a long time, because the way I got pregnant, like it was like I didn't even have sex, you know, like sex. And I was like, how did that happen? But they tell me you can get pregnant by pre-cum. Just for everybody know, you can get pregnant by
let me introduce you to my son Jace. He's not here right now, but that's where Jace came from.
So it was devastating to be that young and have to go through that. But at the same time, it's rewarding to know that I chose to give him life. And by me giving him life, he has excelled. And now he's in law school. And I couldn't ask for anything better. I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for
Girl, there ain't nobody but God.
That's
what I'm saying. When you commit to God and you just say, you know what, I'm just going to trust you.
Yes.
That faith of a mustard seed, I promise, you know. And the thing is, it's like, it's not just saying it, you know, oh, I have faith in God. But do you really? Because you spend your time complaining and worrying about everything. So do you actually really have faith in God? Because that don't sound like faith to me.
And you know, when I watch your videos, and you know I struggle with anxiety. When I watch your videos, when I started watching your videos, my anxiety level started shrinking, because I realized how to put my thoughts. It's all in your mind. I was with things at times. I was in school, going to Central, getting my bachelor's. I was working full time. I had these 2 kids. I was the head of the household. I had to make all the decisions on my own, and that will tear you down. Just not knowing what to do sometimes, and having a support in your home. Like I had outside support, but I didn't have anyone in my home but my grandmother, who was in Maryland, who has passed. But she was my backbone for everything. Like she was my everything. So I started to learn how to manifest, sit and collect my thoughts, how to breathe. When you could do the videos on breathing, I sit right here at my desk and I'll do my breathing exercise. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I had a nightmare. I jumped up and I put my water on. I started steaming and I drank my tea. And I went back to bed. I was like, this not going to get me today. So, I mean, I just been so thankful for everything you share, like your videos. I watch all of them. I even watched the birthday video. I was like, this is good. I was like, I wish I would have thought of something like this. But
wait, which video?
The birthing video.
Oh, the birthing video. Yes, girl. Yeah.
This is good because, you know, you have those moments and you don't really have anything to reflect back on. You're like, right. What happened? You know, because
yes.
You know, kind of fades away. I mean, you remember the moment, but you don't remember the step by step.
All of the little details, right? And it's something that I can give to my daughter. Like, imagine being able to like see when you were born. You know what I'm saying? Imagine being able to see that. So yeah.
Oh, that's great.
God.
So appreciate you. I don't know, I'm always inboxing you whenever my daughter has an eczema issue or anything. I go to you before I even call the doctor. I'm like, come ask her.
Guess what? I go to me before I call the doctor too. You know,
Yeah.
And I think everybody should. I think everybody's first line of approach to anything is, what resources do I have in me? Whether that's doing a Google search on natural remedies, whether that's let me hit up Megan from Yes Got Wellness, whether that's let me go on YouTube and see other success stories. Like, let me get focused on what I want. And what I want is to be able to heal this in a way that is going to be the path of least resistance, you know? Yeah. Girl, I am so like, and you know what? Sometimes I low-key be getting on my nerves. People are like, my heart is so full, but not like right now. I know, I feel what that feels. My heart is just so full right now. And somebody's asking what's good for eczema. I have a honey butter cream, that cream right there up in the corner. If you could,
it works.
It works. It works for eczema, psoriasis, all like rashes, anything that's going on with your skin. That stuff right there. I have people who order that in bulk, like massage clients, because their clients are just telling them how amazing, like it's clearing up things. It's even helping with like muscular issues. I was like, wow. It has neem in it. It has like borage oil. It has a whole bunch of like really, really powerful oils in it. And yeah, so
that eczema butter is it's a hit. Like, she had it so bad. Like, I sent you that picture of the back of her neck. You like, oh my God. I'm like, yes, what is this? And they're like, it's her eczema. I'm like, oh, I'm not using any steroid cream. I'm using that. It cleared up. It cleared up like that. And I was like, this is all we using. That steroid cream is too strong. It discolors.
yes,
it doesn't work.
It's not necessary. It's just not necessary, you know?
And I'm like, no, we're not using that. So I was so thankful for that. I think I've kind of used everything that you have. And so
Listen, you are my ideal. Let me explain something. You are my ideal client. Like, I want people to be excited about what I'm offering. Like, I'm almost speechless right now, because I'm like, God, really? You just did all this? Like, really? I just wrote a little sentence in my journal and this is where we at? Okay, I see you.
One more thing. One more thing I used the what's it called? The BV capsules. When I
got a few of them over there. Those be selling now. You see them right there? It's only a few left. I gotta make some more.
When I got my tubal, with the blood would just stay and it'd be brown. So you know that's gonna cause old blood to sit and smell. And I had so many issues, and the doctor only wanted to give me this medicine, told me to insert every day or twice a day. Or I started using your stuff. I haven't had a issue in maybe 2 or 3 years. It's been, haven't had a issue, not one. And then my periods were, my blood used to be my blood used to be brown, like stinky, everything. When I started steaming, it regulated my flow. I never had any more trapped blood. And I didn't have to use those anymore. Like, I have some in my medicine cabinet, but I haven't had to use them so long. But when I went to the doctor asking for about the same thing, it was $200 or $100 and something at the pharmacy for the set they said, oh, we have to make those at the pharmacy and blah blah blah.
You have to make everything at the pharmacy.
Yeah, the boric acid, whatever. But they don't just have it on stock, like they have to make it or whatever. And I was like, so I inboxed you. I was living in Virginia at the time. I drove to Durham and got them out your mailbox.
Right, girl. You've been with me from the beginning, girl. Thank you.
Way, yes, and was out, and I was like, I'm going back down the road, because I was like, this is gonna work, and I know it's gonna work. Like, I don't have to keep going to the doctor, having to go through all them embarrassing questions. Like, no, I know my body, and this is why it's doing this, and it's because what I'm doing. So
being overcharged. And the thing is, like, I raised my prices last year because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you will pay so much more at the doctor's office. Like, let me actually give the energy of value in my products. Not to say that wasn't there before, but I need to truly value it as much as other people value it. And,
Yes.
you know, I know it works. You know, I've had so many different testimonials, and it's like, you know, consider, you know, $30 for those versus 200. Like you say, I mean, just from a cost alone, you know, you want to talk about, let's not get into how much fertility treatments cost, and,
Yes.
you know, versus a bagger, you know, like, come on, you know,
I
and
I tell everybody, I say, if you want to have a baby, get that steam. I was like, I don't want any baby, but it works. Like, I'm like, use
girl,
that.
look, I got 5 of them running around over here, girl. And
I'm, I'm like, get that steam. But you know, I'm done with kids. I got my 2. I'm blessed. Thank you.
girl, and highly favored, girl. And you know what? And the thing is that what I love so much about this is that you're speaking to not just the herbs, but my other kind of overarching main message, which is that what you believe that you can have an experience, you can have an experience.
Yeah.
That's my whole message. Like, you know what I mean? And I want to help people to tap into that, because we all have that ability. We all are able to do that. It's just, I think so many people don't really realize that, or they don't believe it, you know, and because you don't believe it, then that's not what you experience. And so I'm thankful that you're sharing that part of it too. And just like even how you just said, like you came down the road to get it out the mailbox, and then you knew it was going to work. Like that's the power of decision, y'all. The
Mm-hmm.
power of deciding, this is what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And even this is what I'm not doing anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is what I'm available for now, and only this, and I'm not available to that. And so in order to be able to make those clear, you know, statements or clear decisions, you have to be willing to take a look at where you actually are, and then where do I want to go? Where do I actually want to go from here? What is it that I want to manifest? You know, be clear about it. Don't just say I want more money. You know, I want to earn $50,000 a month. Like, you know, be clear about what those numbers look like. Be clear
Yeah.
about what that life looks like. You know, you literally manifested, helped your son manifest. It sounds like a $200,000 education. Well, praise God.
Yes. Yes. It
Girl,
was
that's huge.
he did that on his own, but I was like, I don't know how you think I'm gonna pay for that, you know. But this year I closed on my house. I've been working in mortgage banking over 12 years now, and I work in my office maybe 12, 14 hours a day doing home loans for people, and it's a lot. It's stressful, you know. They want the numbers. They want you to push those
I
loans
can
out.
imagine. Yeah.
For corporate America, now they can replace me at any time. So I started thinking, how can I manifest multiple streams of income on something that's I believe in? And I know
Exactly.
corporate America, because I have I have been truly blessed to be in these positions I am, but in the back of my mind, I know I can be replaced at any time. My seat is just a seat. I'm a number. You know, they say they value their employees, but do they really value their employees?
They
So
value their bottom line. That's what they value.
yeah, and I could work 12 hours a day. It's never enough with no lunch. They don't care as long as I'm a producer. And the moment you don't produce, you're out the door. So it just started making me think different. I'm turning 40. Do I want to keep stressing myself out, working like this for top dollar? Do I want to give up? I have no work-life balance. You know what I'm saying? I start my day off like you say. I say my prayer. Thankful. I have my tea. I'll just sit in quiet by myself because my mind is constantly going numbers, numbers, numbers all day. People talk about their loan. Like, it's a lot on you, and then you have to handle everything else by yourself: the kids, the house,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Well, next we got to manifest you a husband, girl. We're gonna work on that next.
oh God, I have given, I've
Huh?
given, I give up people who find love good luck. It don't work for me right now. Everybody else don't have their good right mind, and I'm not with it. I can't raise nobody else's son. I have my own. Um, I'm thinking that a man should come to me already at a certain level with his own basics. Um, I'm a social worker. I'm a nurturer at heart. When guys come to you and they haven't been nurtured, they take you through the ringer. And I just want to help. and something's wrong with me because I need to learn how to cut off. Well, if they don't come already with their basics, I can't help you.
Well, and you know what? It's okay to have had those experiences. So now what you can focus on is, what do I actually want? What kind of man do I want? What kind of character traits does he have? You know, what is this guy like? And that's the thing I want everyone to understand, is that your negative experiences still serve you. Everything that you experience is here to serve you. So, you know, take the time that you need to heal from whatever you've been through, you know, but understand and know that you can have what you want, you know, and that goes for job, money, relationship, lifestyle, whatever it is, you know, your womb, anything. And so, you know, even if you're not ready right now, that's okay. Take time, you know, and heal yourself. But I want you to remember that you can have what you want. And if that's truly a desire of your heart, to have a loving husband who comes to the table with his stuff together, ready to, you know, step in, and then you can have it, you know, you can have it if that's what you want. So
I think that I was listening to you one day and you was talking about trauma bonds, and I was like, that sounds so like,
girl,
I'm going through. I'm like, this is a trauma bond, da, da, da. And I'm like, I just need, I probably just need a private session with you just to get my mind to where it needs to be for me to be open to something new. Because right now I'm like, I'm not open. I just been through a lot, and
girl, we can get you there.
yeah,
We can get you there. Trust me.
Some people are not as ecstatic about some of the things that I've been doing in my life, because some people like to see you stagnant. And I've been able to move forward in a way that people doubted me. You know,
and the beauty is that some people don't matter. At the end of the day, it's all about you. It's about you and what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Anything other than that is noise.
Yeah.
Everything other than that is noise.
A private tea party to go into 40 and just be able to be a better me. You know, if that makes sense. I just need to be a better me going forward. I need to be able to take care of me. So I continue to take care of them. I need to set boundaries in the new year. And I need to learn how to say no in the new year.
That's huge. I always talk about yes, God, but no, God is just as powerful. No, God is just as powerful. Trust me.
I have a problem with saying no.
Girl, you need to be saying, girl, listen to Tony Jones' Noah's Bay. She got a song called Noah's Bay. And she talks about, if you only had 10 yeses to give, you know, what would you say no to?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to start weeding the stuff out. And the thing is, and this is a quick manifestation hack, if it doesn't align with what you want, say no to it. Don't be afraid of the loss, because I promise you that God will come and fill it with greater and more quickly, if not immediately. But you gotta have that courage to say no, because saying no takes courage.
You gotta have the confidence. And sometimes I just be like, I'm so my friends say that, you know, a lot of people, I'm a no nonsense type of person. And I don't like when people don't take accountability for things that they do. And I don't like the games aspect of somebody just gaming and all the time. Like, no, you need to take responsibility for what you did, what you said, and how you did it. And I'm so big on, when you said this, it made me feel like, because in this new world, people text stuff, and if I read it, I'm reading it how I'm thinking you said it. And then if you're not speaking it, I don't know how you meant to say that.
Right.
So a lot of times it's just, you need to have effective communication, because text is not the answer to everything.
No.
And you know, at 40, who's gonna go back and forth at this age? Nobody. Like,
no, we ain't got time for that no more. I'm 40, I just turned 41, and it's like, you know, we don't have time for that anymore. Life is too precious. you know, there's too many opportunities out here. There's too much abundance out here. There's too much joy out here. There is too much bliss out here to be going back and forth with somebody who hasn't stepped up to what it is that God has called for their life. Period.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is that potential, everybody got potential. Okay. My time in the closet got some potential to be a part of a good recipe. But
Right.
until I do it, until I actually execute, until I take that step on, okay, this is what I'm doing now, until I make that decision. And so that's the thing about, you know, if you don't like it, and if that's the common theme of whatever dynamic that you're going on in your life, you don't have to deal with it. And the thing is, you don't necessarily have to cut it off, because I used to be a cut it off person. I'm cutting them off. I ain't talking to them no more.
Me too.
You know, but you don't have to do that. You can just limit access.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is that when you level yourself up, when you start to create those boundaries inside of yourself and say, this is what I'm available for. I'm not available for people who text me things that should be a phone call. When you start to make those decisions inside of yourself, you will find that the people around you will start to align, whether alignment means falling off or whether alignment means leveling up, you know? And so that's why the first place you got to start when you're manifesting what you want is in here. You know, you cannot look at the external circumstances, you know, those are just, you know, faith is the evidence of, what is it, babe? Oh, I thought he was listening to me. He's not. I don't know what the saying is, but the faith is, you know, basically something. I was going to try and say the acronym, something appearing real. I don't know, but you cannot look at what's going on in your life and allow that to become your reality. You have to understand that it's not about the external becoming the internal. It's about the internal becomes the external. And so many people feel like what's going on externally is what's making them do something or feel something or be in a certain place in life. And the thing is that stop giving your power away. You don't need to, nothing else is responsible, and nothing else has to take accountability for you and your feelings but you. Yeah. And if somebody is not making you feel good about yourself, then you need to question yourself. Why am I continuing to engage with this dynamic? Why am I continuing to have this relationship? You know?
Yes.
That's the part, girl.
I agree. And
I hope for. Yes, God.
Yes, God. I had to I'm not a good manager of emotion, especially since I am becoming better
and better every day at managing my emotions. Thank you, God.
Yes.
That's what I want you to say. I am becoming better and better every day at managing my emotions.
I am becoming better at managing my emotions every day. And I have learned.
Don't say you're not a good one. Say that you're becoming.
Yeah, I'm becoming. I always say I'm a work in progress, but it goes from things from, you know, being young and going through whatever and blah, blah, blah. But as I'm getting older, I told my son other day in a conversation, I just so happened to jump on Instagram and I saw my son, the Sagittarius.
Like me?
Yeah. My son, the Sagittarius, always unbothered, giving a read on Instagram. I picked up my, hello. I'm going to need you to take that off. That is not how you handle yourself. You're in law school. Nobody is on your level at this point. I'm going to need you to.
So don't go down there and talk to them. Stay where you at.
Exactly. Is what I had to tell him. And after I got off the phone, I had to check myself. I said, why you can't give yourself that information?
Girl, let me tell you something. God be talking to you through your conversations with other people. I want everybody to recognize and realize that.
Yes. Yes.
And that's, for me, it's like, you know, so many people are like, Megan, you helped me, you did this, and oh, it transformed my life. I'm like, girl, I wasn't doing nothing but transforming myself in the process. Like, I speak what is in my heart, and I trust God to deposit divine things in my heart, you know? And so the same thing that I'm saying to everybody, anybody, I'm always saying it to myself. I did a post the other day that was talking about the subconscious, and that the subconscious did not recognize anything external. Everything you say and think and feel about other people and other situations, other stuff, your subconscious thinks it's about you.
Yes.
And so that's the thing about manifesting, is that you have to understand and get on that level of consciousness that, wait a minute, I have to pay attention to the way I'm feeling about this and that, because the most important thing is to be feeling good. If I'm feeling good, then I'm in the divine position. I'm in the perfect position to magnetize what I want. When I'm
Right.
feeling upset and stressed and anxious and all that stuff, I ain't gonna do nothing but get more of that. So
Yeah.
let me stay happy and joyful and blissful and grateful and, and thankful, because that's what I want to manifest for myself. I want to experience things that are going to make me feel those things. So let me stay in that mindset. And that's, it's like, that was another thing I decided 2022. I'm not talking negative about anyone. I try to be mindful of not complaining, but sometimes I find myself like, oh, that got on my nerves when such and such did that. And I'm like, you don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, it's not worth your time.
It's not worth my time. Like, okay, I got on my nerves. And so what? Like, why are your nerves available for them to be gotten on?
Right.
I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like that, turning it back inside. Like, where's the accountability? What is my part in this? That should be everyone's question to any situation that they're going through in life that they might not be content or happy with. Is, what is my part in this? Because guess what? That's the only thing you can control. You have no control over anyone else, anything else other than yourself. And the beauty of that is that once you have control over yourself and you get that, then you have control over everything. It's so counterintuitive because, again, trying to go external. I'm going to do this and I'm going to say that and I'm going to do, and I'm going to do. You ain't got to do that. All you got to do is keep it right in here. Just like when I wrote my journal this morning, nobody knew that. Nobody knew that.
Yeah.
But here come God. Okay, guess what? I'm going to send somebody in your inbox. We're going to have this conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be, it wasn't an external thing. It was an internal thing that manifested externally. And here we are.
Yeah.
Yes, God.
Yes, God. And usually in the morning, I start my day off with like something you posted positive, whether it be you or a sermon or, I turn on my gospel music or whatever, just to thank me for the day and get me ready for what may come. So yeah, I'm so you. I've been following you for so many years from Durham, and we both ventured out. And I'm like, how am I going? I'm like, she shipped, so I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, but one of my friends lived down the road from you. I said, hey, you mind picking up? She said, I don't mind. I said, I think she still do pick up, but I'll find out. And I was like, I said, I'm gonna email her and see what she say, because you usually do hit me back. So I was like, oh, she hit me back. I'm like, she ain't busy, because I seen your little message one day. Said, I'm not able to respond. I'm like, oh my gosh, she don't reply.
Girl, that's an autoresponder on Instagram, girl. That's an autoresponder.
I was so happy when you sent me back. I was like, oh, okay, well, we in business then, because thinking about this thing, and I've been watching your posts, and I've been just like, oh, look at her go. Like, oh, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to do that makes me feel good.
Yes, girl. Yes. God, you showing out today, God. Thank you, Lord. Yes. Girl, I'm just like, I'm floating on a cloud, girl. I thought I was in a good mood before. Now I'm just like, I feel like I'm just floating around the house now. Like one of the things I always like type down, my notes are like a gold mine of information, because I'm always like, I'm gonna make that into a reel. I'm gonna do a YouTube video on that. And I literally had thought, as I was coming down the stairs to get ready for this live, I was like, you know what? When you're in this zone of feeling good and manifesting and really just focusing on the feeling over the logic, what I feel is that I'm progressing farther and time is slowing down. So it's like things are happening. Like, remember, I don't know if you've seen the movie Limitless, where it's like he took this pill and then he was able to do anything. So he like studied how to do stocks in like 2 hours. And then he was able to make all this money on stock. Like, that's that zone. You know what I'm saying? That's that zone of, so it's like the manifestation pill, girl. I'm on it right now. Like I'm buzzing, girl. I'm just like,
definitely have to get together. I do want to do something for the area that I'm in. And also, continue to support my friends and family who are like pregnant and having babies, or I don't know if you've had this experience that the people who are getting COVID while pregnant are miscarrying babies. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna ask.
Now, do these? Well,
it's just
I was gonna ask a question. Do you know if they're jabbed as well?
What? If
Do
they
you know
what?
if they're jabbed as well?
No. They hadn't had the vaccine. They just
And
got
they
COVID.
still got,
And they had full-term babies, and it's been multiple people. So I started, I started Googling what's going on. And then that's when they came out with, we recommend pregnant women getting the vaccine, because how can you go to term and you have a virus and your baby is stillborn? Like it's been a lot of those. So I actually was going to reach out to one of my professors at Central and say, hey, he's a statistics teacher. Like, hey, have you seen any numbers on this? Because I didn't want to sit and really do all the crunch on it, but I want,
mm-hmm.
but everybody who I know who's pregnant, I tell them, hey, please stay safe. Please don't go out if you don't have to. Please make sure
Yes.
you're right and washing your hands, making sure that you don't have a lot of people in your space, just so that you can have a healthy.
Yes.
So, it's my mind has been going. So I need to do a vision board. I need
Mm-hmm.
to put a plan in action for 2022.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna work it out, girl. Look at this.
Yes.
This is my 2022 plan. With God, all things are possible. And
Yes.
and it's like, it don't gotta be no big, it's just one. Like I sent the email out today and I said, just choose one thing. Look at God. See? Just choose that one thing that's gonna compound interest over time with consistency. Just choose that one thing. For me, it's journaling, because I see journaling is, everybody who's watched my journey from the beginning until now, y'all know I was journaling. That was the main consistent that stayed consistent throughout all these years, has been me getting in that journal and talking to God, because with God, all things are possible.
Since I was about 15 or so, a social worker gave me a journal when I was pregnant. It was like the teenage mom, and she introduced me. She told me that I need to goal set. And she said, this is how you're going to make it with your baby. You goal set. And it stuck with me. Been doing it ever since. I write my goals out every year, my goals. And I do the same in my cases. I write them out.
Yep.
I put down when I
It's
want
so
to.
powerful. It's extremely powerful to just write things down. And that's all you gotta do. And people make it so hard. It's not that hard. You just gotta write it, and then you gotta believe it. And you gotta make a decision. And then let God do the rest. Let God do the heavy lifting.
Yes.
So you ain't gotta try and figure out how it's gonna happen, when is it gonna, just do what God is telling you to do. When you hear a divine intuitive nudge about, hey, you know what, I think I should maybe stop over here. Or, oh, you know what, I think I need to do a steam. Or, you know, I think I need me some water. Or, oh, I need to. Just do it. Just be obedient. That's all you got to do. And the thing is that God talks to us all the time. We just have to be willing to listen. We have to be willing to observe our mind, and those thoughts that are always constantly running, and be able to switch from experiencing them all to just watching them.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. That's an old thought. That served me back in 2011. that ain't even relevant no more. Like, really, split yourself away from the mind and watch it. Yes, God. So I actually have a 3:00 appointment that I need to get to. I am so thankful for you. Thank you so much for being willing to come talk to us. We will continue to chat about the party, and I'll send you the information, and then we can go from there and let me know what we want to do. And I'm looking forward to that, girl, because I've missed those parties. I miss them.
I look forward to seeing you.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. This is my husband, y'all. He think I'm off. He about to start. What, babe? What you say? What you yes guiding about? Wasn't that amazing? I feel like I done smoked the joint, babe. That's okay, girl. It's gonna be right on YouTube. Don't even worry about it. I wanted to get your candid reaction. We got a meeting? Okay. Okay. I love y'all. I will talk to y'all soon. I'm gonna be up here talking to y'all, and I am just excited about it. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for the super chat, YouTube. Thank you. Who was that? I saw it like fly past the screen. I'm like, somebody gave you a $20 super chat. I'm like, God, what are you trying to do to me? Like, really? This is what we're doing? Okay. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for loving me, y'all. You know what? And the thought came to me too. God was like, why does not everybody know your Cash App? I was like, that's a good question. Anyway, Cash App, Yes God Wellness. I'm not asking for money. Y'all don't have to send me anything. But if you're inclined to, I would love to see that notification. I'm so grateful for y'all. Thank you for sticking here and sharing in this energy. This is amazing. Like I'm just like, I need to go. I need to use the bathroom and I need to get ready for my 3 o'clock. So I love y'all and I will talk to you soon. Bye.